TV, anime, video games, books, Star Trek, Marvel, My Hero, Hook. It don't matter what you into, don't matter what you do, here on Nerd Shit, we got something for you.
Welcome everybody back to Nerd Shit, where we at Hypothetically Sound talk about nerd shit. In this series, I guess, or this next bunch of episodes, we're going to be taking a look at The Walking Dead. It just ended. I know none of us have watched all of it. I, for example, Randy, have only watched till season 7, episode 1. Alec, how far did you get?
About season 7, but before that I didn't watch it. Like I skipped like the Alexandra arc, like what, season 5 or 6 or some shit.
Yeah.
So
Mom, how far did you get?
Through season 9, because then didn't have access to it anymore.
So yeah, we haven't watched all of it, so we thought that it would be fun to go back, watch it all, and then talk about it. So far we have watched through season 1, so this episode we'll look at episode 1, 2, and 3 of season 1, and the next episode will be 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth until we get through the whole thing. Since it's all on Netflix now, why not just do it that way? So yeah, you guys ready? I know as we were watching this all, Mom taking some notes. I have some notes in my head, some questions in my head. So yeah, we'll talk about the episode and things that we spotted. You guys ready?
yes, sir.
Okay, so for people listening at home that just need a refresher, episode 1 sees Sheriff Deputy Rick Grimes waking from a gunshot-inflicted coma to discover that the world is overrun with walkers. Goes back to his house to try and find his wife and son, but meets survivor Morgan Jones and his son Dwayne. Deciding to separate from them, Rick heads to Atlanta with a bag of weapons to find his wife Lori and son Carl. Unaware they are safe with other survivors, led by his former partner Shane, he encounters hordes of walkers and becomes trapped inside a tank. So that's gist of the first episode. That's what Wikipedia has as the synopsis. So what do you remember from episode 1? What did you recall that stood out to you in episode 1? Either of you.
All right, I'll go first. Actually happens at the end of the episode when he's in the tank. Why the hell he thinks it's cool to shoot a gun inside of a tank?
Yeah.
I understand the situation. But I feel like he should be smart enough, as someone who handles guns like he does, to not do something like that, and maybe figure out a different way to kill that zombie.
Also, it doesn't seem to have any lingering repercussion. Like, the dude's hearing is back by the time season 2 episode starts. Like, that's a loud ringing noise. Like, you wear headphones or the noise canceling headphones at a gun range for a reason, because you can go depth. So I'm assuming in a metal encased tank, like, he should have went deaf in at least one of the ears, or had loss of hearing or something, but had no issues moving forward from it.
I'm more worried about the bullet ricocheting, because he got this python and he put it next to this decaying head. No way that it doesn't, go through and hit metal and ricochet, right?
Yeah. Should be pinging around in there for a while.
Yeah, it's great. The whole tank seems weird. Like, as we were watching, I told you guys, but I don't know if people at home know, the dude he kills in the tank was actually the actor that played Doomsday at Smallville. He was in a sci-fi show where he played a vampire. And they were going to do some kind of spin-off short series with him, and then decided after he did that scene, we're not going to do it. So interesting fact.
They were doing a little bit of those backstories in some of the zombies, but that didn't go very well. It wasn't received. So, which is why they're doing spin-offs now of characters on the show. I don't know.
Another note about shooting in the tank. Could you imagine shooting a zombie and then the bullet ricocheting and hitting you in the leg, and that's how you became a zombie because you're an idiot?
Yeah, there's so much. in the first season that just like doesn't make like actual sense for future outcome.
Yeah. Well, and they admit that their first season they didn't know how well it was going to be received because of all the gore and everything that was in it. So it was just kind of, all right, let's do this, let's do this. That's why it was only 6 episodes. And then when it took off as big as it did, then they, sat back and said, okay, we can develop this the way we want and throw money at it now.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing was, how much of a person has to be eaten before they don't become a zombie? It's like when you see the hospital when he's coming out, and there's like a person sitting there that's like half ate.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll see people that get eaten and have like half of their neck and shoulder gone, and they're walking around as zombies. How much has to be eaten?
Just the brain, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming if the brain is impacted at all, they don't come back. And it might go for other things too. So if someone had a brain injury beforehand, they might not come back. So who knows exactly? But we just know that it's because we find out in episode 6. We know that it just reinitiates the bottom part of the brain. So I'm assuming if the stem is too damaged, or anything, they don't come back. So I'm assuming you can literally eat them up past their heart. No, probably not the heart either. I guess they would chomp, maybe just sit there as a head chomping, because the future stuff we know that the head stays and is still it's animated. So yeah, if I'm assuming the lower part of the brain is damaged at all, it's not a zombie. It just stops
Makes
being.
sense. Yeah, the episode 1 kind of sets up a lot of different questions that I just kept thinking of through the whole thing. So like Rick with his gunshot wound, when they show him getting shot, it's in his upper part of his body.
Yeah.
And then when he's in the hospital, it's lower in his abdomen area. It's where they bandage him.
Yeah, and there's no way, like, even the way the dude was shooting from a low arc, so maybe what we saw in the show, because the dude was in a ditch when he shot Rick, who was on the road. So I get, like, if we're seeing it and he was shot from the front, it would make sense if it came out, if he got shot in his abdomen and it came out of his shoulder on the out way. But I don't remember if he shot from behind or in front. Because he was taking off he was like looking at his vest at the time. But yeah, the gunshot definitely seemed to be a moving target. And another thing, so when watching the episode back, like he says, he goes and he gets him and Morgan guns. He was like, yeah, we can go here and get the guns. None of the other police officers, like, because he's a sheriff's deputy, so he's not even the sheriff. He's not the main person in charge at his own precinct. You tell me the sheriff, none of the other people took those guns or held up there or any of those things. Like, he just, yep, we're going to go a month later and we're going to take all these guns that no one seemed to take. Shane didn't take any extra guns to protect. Like,
the only argument I have for that is that there was a police officer there that was a zombie, right?
Yeah.
So there's a good chance that they saw what was happening and their friend turned and they just left, right?
Or they left him in, like, they went to go to one of the zones and left him there to, like, watch out in case they came back or something. And they just weren't able to come back. Because we don't know, like, we know that Rick travels to Atlanta on, like, a car for a while and then takes a horse into Atlanta. We don't know how far away they were from Atlanta. I don't know if it's ever talked about the distance he traveled, but he did travel quite a way with a horse.
Yeah.
They
and
also,
all those guns.
I was going to say, they also, when showing Shane, kind of made it look like he skedaddled as soon as everything started going. So.
True. Trying to think if there's anything else that stood out. Obviously, the big question that everybody had was how the zombies acted in season 1. For those that don't know, Robert Kirkman has said multiple times, don't put any stock into the zombies in season 1 because the person who was the writer / director left after season 1, so they kind of didn't follow his trend with how the zombies working, because we have the little girl right away who picks up the doll and shows signs of recognition. You have the mom who keeps coming back to the doors. And then, but the big
Other
thing
ones
was, what? Go ahead.
I was saying, and other ones trying to, get indoors and wiggling and
Yeah. So yeah, don't mind the walkers during season 1. They're essentially not common to what you see in season 2 and further on. But I guess the big question will stop with episode 1. I mean, not season 1, but episode 1 is the ending of this. Towards the ending of this episode, he goes back to the girl that he sees crawling on the ground. Why do you believe they made Rick go back and kill that walker?
To give his character like compassion, to show, he's still, even though the world's falling apart and he's still trying to figure it out, he still believes that with somebody, and he just doesn't want them still living the way that they're living, well, animated the way, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives his character a little bit of compassion, especially, with the episodes coming up. It helps with his decisions, making people understand a little better why he does some of the stuff he does.
Mm-hmm.
I think that since he didn't know if it was Lori or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
That it showed early signs of what Rick becomes later on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of how quick he was to accept things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How he seemed like a kind of like a family oriented at first kind of person, losing his wife. He thought he'd be like devastated, and just quickly showed how quick he turned that off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's more of a character development, like signs of early things,
Mm-hmm.
So what would you guys do if you woke up in a hospital like him and walked out, seeing all the bodies, finding the room with the chain that says "Don't open, dead" inside"?
Try to figure out why I was so unlucky.
Yeah, same thing. Probably go back to my house, try to see if there are people held up there. You do the same. Like, there's not much you can do. You try to escape. Hope you don't. Like, obviously, something bad is happening. You see all the bodies, and you hope that you don't run into someone killing people, I guess.
Who
More
would you
so,
who would you be looking for first?
no one. I'm assuming at that point everybody's dead.
Same, actually, yeah.
So you wouldn't have hope that
No.
I would have.
No.
If I'm in a coma and the zombie breaks out, I don't see Alec leaving. I know I'm not leaving Alec. So if he's not there, something bad happened. So I'm assuming he dead.
Yeah, my knee probably gave out going down the stairs or something, and I just I'm dead and I'm not moving. I'm leaving.
Yeah, no, I'm just assuming he's dead. I'm assuming you dead. I'm assuming Dad dead. I'm assuming everybody dead.
I'm assuming
none of us have guns.
You using Dad dead only because y'all can't move.
And yeah, like Dad has a gun, but he ain't fast enough to go get it. And if a zombie breaking into his house, if one of his neighbors breaks into his house, you ain't got a gun. You ain't gonna be able to fight off a zombie who's still has full strength. Like, the zombies don't lose strength until they start decaying.
Yeah, I'm just curious. That was my answer too.
Jim, you
ain't finding us?
No, I would assume, because if I was in the hospital, or like you guys were in the hospital, I wouldn't leave.
Damn, you know what happens when you assume.
You two would be like, "All right, Mom, we love you, but we got to go."
I'll be honest. I'm more of a pity guy. And so if he was in a coma during all that, like, I'm the one, the power ain't going out, the plug ain't pulled. Like, you on life support, like, that's just the best. It sounds really messed up, but I feel like that's just hey, let's just end this here, and no suffering. Like,
and it's what comes down to. I wouldn't have left if if you're in a coma that we don't know if you're ever going to come out, you're on a breathing tube, feeding tube. Yeah, there's zero reason to like, especially at that point, like they kind of know what's happening. They know the dead are coming back to life. Like they know that's a thing already. And so for him leave Rick like that is very like almost selfish and uncaring of Rick. Because Shane just leaves him there, like he puts the bed in front of the door, but that's not going to stop these military dudes from going in there and killing them. You have no reason to believe that that's going to stop a zombie from going in there if Rick makes some kind of noise if the beeping still goes off. So yeah, the best option, honestly, is to pull the plugs so that one, you don't know at that point that everybody comes back, like you find out later in the season. So you're assuming he's just going to peacefully drift off into sleep and never wake up. And that's his best option because you don't want him to be eaten alive while he's in a coma and wake up to being ate or anything like that. You don't want him to be murdered by someone he doesn't know. So yeah, I think that's the best option is pulling the plug.
Yeah. They packed a lot in episode 1.
Especially for Shane. Like he knew he was gonna go fuck his wife.
He the whole time, as soon as he mentions Lori when they're in the car eating lunch. Oh, speaking of that, watching that, Shane reaching in, stealing what did he do? Did he steal the fries or like put ketchup on the fries or something? He did something on.
Oh yeah, no,
Rick's
he grabs his
food.
fries and he reaches over and swipes ketchup off of Rick's burger, bro.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, yo, you all dating? What is happening? What is you don't do that to your homie. That's weird. That's weird. Like you can kiss him goodnight, but you can't do that. Oh man.
That
ruined the episode for me. Like,
I'm just like, what is Shane doing? What is going on right here?
I blocked that out of my head. I totally forgot about that. I was like, I cannot enjoy this if I remember this. And so I just poofed it out. Thanks for reminding me.
It just shows how petty Shane was the whole. Like you're like, why is that petty? Because he wants what Rick has the whole time, and there goes a cuss word I had to edit out. He wants what. He wants what Rick has the whole time, even something as little as the ketchup off his burger. So yeah, he starts talking about Lori, and like he gets this like puppy dog face. Oh, Lori's the one that got away. You don't know how great you are. Oh, you guys talking about divorce? I'm gonna swoop in. Like everything about Shane is weird. Shane, I really don't like Shane as a character. I find him just a weird psychopath for no reason.
I think Shane is a great character development character.
But yeah, I don't like him, and that's his character. Like some people are gonna love Shane, some people are gonna hate Shane. I'm on the field of hate.
He's still better than Andrea.
Oh yeah, 100% better than Andrea. We haven't even gotten into her yet. We're still on episode 1. This episode is already at like 18 minutes, so we're just gonna do one episode at a time because they're going along. So let's end this episode 1 with. So our hypothetical. You're Rick, and you decide to take this horse, and you're starting to go towards Atlanta. You see all the cars on the opposite lane trying to get out, deserted. Nothing in your lane. You're going into town, and now you're a mile into Atlanta, into a bustling city where people are supposed to be safe, and you don't see a single soul. Do you keep going into Atlanta?
I mean, kinda, yeah, right? It sounds weird, but like, where else are you supposed to go, right?
True, I guess.
I wouldn't be like going if I'm going in and I'm seeing it's deserted. Like when he first went in, I still wouldn't be like making the horse go faster. All right, come on, let's turn this corner and go and walk or drive or ride the horse right into the horde of zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if I did mess up and do
like,
that,
yeah.
If I did mess up and do that, I wouldn't go and crawl into a tank and fire a gun within it.
Yeah. That was just weird. Like he's rolling in, and like he's seen no one. Like that should be enough worrisome that a city that has a population over what, like 10 million, 12 million. You don't see a single soul. Like, it's weird that he didn't see a single walker. He didn't see anything until he turned that corner where they're all just like chilling, hanging out, relaxing, maxing, all cool, and shooting some b-ball outside school. But it's just weird that they're just hanging there, and he's and it turns around, and then they all come out of the word works. Like, they came out of every alley, came out of every side street. He had no escape but to go into a tank and shoot somebody. So episode 1 came out October 31st, 2010. I didn't know it came out on Halloween. That's cool. It got 5.35 million viewers, and it had a 2.7 out of 7 share rating share that day. Looking at all the shares, honestly, I don't know how it got renewed. They averaged about a little over 5 million viewers an episode and had an average of like 2.6 shares.
Now, are you comparing that with other shows on AMC?
No, I haven't looked at other shows on AMC.
Yeah, because not everybody had access to AMC.
Well, I guess I could read the ratings. The pilot received 5 million views, making it the most watched series premiere episode of AMC television series.
I was going to say, that put AMC on the map. So
sure, I forgot back then AMC wasn't known at all. That's before Breaking Bad even and everything.
Yeah.
The first season finale received 6 million viewers, a season high, with 4 million viewers in the 18 to 49 demographic, making it the most watched basic cable series for the demographic. So yeah, I guess it makes sense.
Ooh, another fun fact. Black Friday, after they released the season 1 on DVD, I fought an old lady for it. The last one is like Walmart.
Me and Randy standing in the aisle watching Alec, and he comes running back, going, "Oh my god, I feel so bad, but I'm so happy. I feel so bad, but I'm so happy. I just knocked an old lady out because she tried ripping it out of my hand."
I knocked her out. Okay, she just I grabbed it, and then she did an old lady thing where she grabbed and was like, "I had it first." I was like, "Ma'am, I will beat this. I will
Randy,
not do anything violent, but I'm angry." And
Randy,
then I just told it.
First and last Black Friday ever, when it was true Black Fridays, not what you got now.
Yeah, people wait in line.
Wait in line. They open the doors, and everybody runs everybody over. They take bats out to come after you because you're grabbing the last Cabbage Patch girl. Those were the days of Black Friday.
They weren't the days at all. They were horrible, horrible time.
See what I did for you guys growing up? Because you had to have your Tickle Me Elmo and your your Pokemon stuff. I had to sit in line in Minneapolis in the freezing cold at 3 a.m., stand in line till the store opened at 6.
Sounds like a you problem. Look how ungrateful we are, see?
Right? I was like, when did you ever do that?
Me and Robin used to all the time. Me, Robin, Judy, and Amy, her sister, used to go and camp out at what was either Kmart, Walmart, Target, Shopko, wherever we ended up.
That's how I know you right. There ain't no Shopkos in Minnesota. No, I'm playing. But that is the end of episode 1. Thank you guys for tuning in. The next episode will be season 1, episode 2. It's called Guts. Actually, their lowest rated show of that season, so we'll find out why. Thank you guys again, and until next time, deuces.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Hypothetically Sound. We hope you enjoyed the episode. All episodes can be found at hypotheticallysound.podbean.com, as well as on Apple, Spotify, and Pandora. For full unedited video versions of the podcast, please visit us at youtube.com/hypotheticallysound.